Hey guys, how you doing? My name is Lena. Welcome back to another video. So today we're doing the mid-year freakout hack. It's just such a custom by now. Like it's just going to happen. It's meant to happen every single year. But I don't know, it's kind of nice to see how everything reading wise has been going. I do have to say, this year is already starting to shape as the previous one. I've read really good solid books, but not that many incredible books, which is sad because we're already in July, but still we'll see. Let's just get started. So the best book you've read so far in 2023. This one's kind of easy. I do have a couple of answers for each one because you know I cannot contain myself, but I certainly do know number one, and it's The Will of the Many by James Islington. This is just so good. I already loved James Islington since I'm a huge fan of the Lycanus trilogy, but this one, man, this one is just good. It's just so good. I was a little bit scared when I first got it because every single review was glowing, and I was just like, I'm so scared because I'm going to have the same reaction as when I read The Justice of Kings, that everyone was loving, and I was just like, no, this is not for me. I was really scared. It was not the case. It was not the case. This book is amazing. I cannot recommend it enough. There's just so many things going on here. It has a huge cliffhanger though, so if you hate that, I would not recommend reading it just now. Wait for book 2 because it's huge cliffhanger. A huge cliffhanger. I was just like, don't you fucking dare. He dared. He definitely dared. Then another one, Symbiosis, sci-fi. Great sci-fi. I love this so much. Since I read it, I have not stopped thinking about it. Every single time that someone asks me, oh, can you recommend me a book? I'm just like, this one. Just read it. I've been trying to see if I can get in touch with the author. I'm still thinking about it, but this was good. This was just so good. I wish it was translated, honestly. Kingdom of Liars. The more I think about it, the more I like this series. Honestly, just so good. I just feel like it's so underrated that I'm just like, why? Especially the later books. Like this one is a great first book. You know, it's a great first book. Our main character is kind of insufferable at first, but he grows greatly throughout the series, and the ending is just fucking fantastic. I loved it so much, cannot recommend it enough. And the other one, which is definitely your favorite, The Ferryman by Justin Cronin, another sci-fi. I'm just so happy that we had 2 and 2 to sci-fi and to fantasy, but Justin Cronin, he does not do wrong. Nothing wrong ever. He's already one of my he was already one of my favorite authors of all time, but amazing. Wish we had a trilogy instead of a standalone, but what can one do? Then, best sequel you've read so far. So without a doubt, Ashes of Men. I think it's the second or third time in a row that the best sequel that I read this year, well, that year, is a book from the Sun Eater Chronicles, because it's just so good. So good. Since book 2, every single one of these just keeps getting better and better. And I don't know how that is possible, but they are just better each time. It's fucking unbelievable. This last book, these last 2 books were such on a whole nother level of good. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. I cannot recommend this series enough. I also feel like this is extremely underrated because a lot of people just stop after book 1, but you shouldn't. I know I'm the first one to say I didn't like book 1. I don't know if I'm going to continue, but this series is just so worth it. So worth it because the story changes so much from book 1. It just gets into full space opera, sci-fi horror. It's just incredible. Incredible. Cannot recommend this one enough. If I could only recommend one sci-fi series, I will be down in between The Expanse and this one, because this one is just incredible. So, new releases that you haven't read but want to. The first one, obviously, Waybound. It came out last month. I still haven't been able to read it because I'm planning to do a full reread of the series this month, so I can just, just think about it. It's just going to be so stressful. I don't know if I'm ready, but definitely Waybound. I also have Sleight of Shadows, which I didn't realize it came out in April. I thought it was going out later in the year, and then once I was researching for this video, I was just like, wait, it has already come out. I definitely need to get a copy and just read it, because An Unkindness of Magicians, I feel like it's another not very well understood book. It's just very misunderstood, and I just really liked it, and I was really curious when I realized there was a sequel coming out, but I just definitely need to get it. In another one, this is going to be pretty weird for me, but Night Angel Nemesis, because the thing is, I hated is it Lightbringer, the series? But I was a huge fan when I was young of the Night Angel trilogy. I'm a huge fan of it. I also love the new covers, by the way, finally, because those were horrendous. But this came out this year, and I do hate sequel series. Like, I don't feel there's a need for them to exist, like only in very special cases. But I do want to read it. I wanted to give it a try, but having seen not like Brentwyn's books, I'm still a little bit scared that maybe not enjoying this is going to taint my enjoyment for the previous series. We'll see. I hope not. Most anticipated release for the second half of the year. For this, I have 3. The first one is the Jasad Heir. This is another kind of Arabic desert fantasy. The few reviews that I've seen already, because it's coming out later this month, I believe, are amazing. I just really want to read this one. It sounds amazing, and as I told you, I've heard great things about it. Then, of course, Labyrinth's Heart. This is the final book in The Rook and the Rose. I cannot wait for it, honestly. Like, it's coming out also this month. I cannot wait. For real, I cannot wait. It's just, I'm sure it's going to be amazing. Then the other one is coming out a little bit later in the year, but it's The Death I Gave Him. I think I haven't talked about this one yet, but I do have an arc for it, and it's coming and it's basically a retelling of Hamlet, but in a murder mystery locker room type of novel. Sounds very bizarre, a lot of things going on. I'm not a huge fan of retellings, I mostly don't read them, honestly, but this one seems so bizarre that I'm just like, you know what, I'm giving this one a chance, honestly. Then we have biggest disappointments, and I do have a couple of them. The first one is going to be The Kind Worth Saving. Honestly, just because it didn't need to exist. There was like zero need for the existence of this book. Not at all. The Kind Worth Killing is an amazing thriller. An amazing thriller, and it didn't need a sequel. And I have a feeling that it's going to have like a next one. Don't. Stop it. Stop it. Like, just don't. It's not necessary. The story was super meh, and the first book is just so much better in every single aspect of it. Then The Gardens of Empire, probably my biggest disappointment of the year, like, because it just makes me a little bit sad. I do have to say it's not a bad book, but it's definitely not on the same level as book 1. And it saddened me a lot. I could have grabbed my physical copy just behind me, but I'm just too lazy to do that. I was just sad because I had already seen like reviews saying that it was actually not as good as the first book. They were right. But yeah, overall I'm still loving book 1. Also, book 3 is coming out this year, which is another of my like really anticipated releases. I completely forgot about it, but it's coming out in August, I think so. I've already had it pre-ordered, so I'm ready. I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be good. I have like high hopes for it, honestly. If not, I'm just going to be so sad. And then, not my biggest disappointment, but definitely the worst book that I read this year, Horizonte de Estrellas, makes me so mad just thinking about it. There's so many things wrong with this book. We have sexism, we have phobia. The only thing that we don't have is transphobia. Surprisingly enough, I don't know what happened here, but they were just like, yeah, trans people are fine. The rest are just fucking trash. And I'm just like, why? Why is this message at the end of the book so positive and the rest is just fucking garbage? Especially the fat phobia was so annoying. So annoying. Like, I definitely should do like a rant video about this fucking book. And it won an award. It won a super prestigious award here, and I cannot fucking believe it. Honestly, like, the concept of the book was great. Everything else was fucking trash. Moving on. Biggest surprise of the year. So definitely Kingdom of Liars. Honestly, I already had like a good feeling about it, but I wasn't expecting it to be like so cool and so enjoyable. Honestly, the more they think about the magic, the more I like it. It's just so well done. The magic system here is just so well done, and it's just so tied to the story. Everything flows great. I cannot recommend this one enough. Again, memory magic. Incredible. Symbiosis. I went into this thinking, oh my god, it's going to be trash, as the other two Spanish books that I've just read. It wasn't. It was amazing. Thank fucking god, because oh my god. And the other one is going to be a graphic novel, Nailbiter. I've been loving it. I'm already just on the last volume. Oh my god, it was such a cool surprise. It's already like a pretty old graphic novel series, but it's just super good. Super good. Basically about a town that produces serial killers. Amazing. Cannot recommend it enough. I've been loving it. So for favorite new author, I haven't like really read too many new authors. Honestly, I just been really focused on continuing series this year. But I'm definitely going to go with Brian Asher. I've read every single one of his books, I believe, or almost every single one of them, and I just really enjoyed them all. I feel like he's an author that even though I just don't give like full 5s to his books, I can still read them all and enjoy them all. So I'm just going to continue reading, because also all his books are set in like the same world, intercontinent, which is so cool because every single book has like a nudge to the other ones. I'm also going to do like a full video talking about his books really soon, probably next week, so be tuned for that. But yeah, definitely Brian Asher. Newest fictional crush, I don't have one. Once again, maybe if I had a new Arcane Ascension book, I could have Derek in here because he's still my ultimate crush, but no. Newest favorite character. This is going to be, I don't think if it's controversial, but I'm going to with Domet from Kingdom of Liars. He's just such a bitch, but I just love him so much. He's definitely this type of really cunning character. He's just only thinking about himself, but he does help a little bit here and there, and it's just so cool. I just really like him in general. I don't know why. He's definitely not good. He's definitely a great character leaning towards the bad aspect, but he's still so interesting, especially in the first book. He just comes in here, she's like, hey, I'm going to save you, don't worry. And it's just amazing. It's basically this super powerful novel here, and he's been helping Michael throughout the first book, but he definitely has like hidden motives. It's just amazing. I like him so much. Then a book that makes you cry. I don't think I've cried. Oh yeah, I just remember. I definitely cried with Ashes of Man. Definitely. It got to me right now. I was just like, yeah, I definitely did. I will probably just really cried with Waybound too, but I still haven't read it. But there's a scene here, there's a death scene here. I knew it was going to happen since book 1. It still hit me so hard, and I was so not ready for it. But yeah, extremely sad. Then a book that made you happy. This is going to be weird, but I reread the series, and just the thought of reminding myself how much I enjoyed it made me super happy. Master of Sorrows by Justin Cole. Honestly, this book is actually pretty sad, but just the joy of rereading it made me so happy, because I was just like, yes, I remember this being so good, and it's still so good. So just for that alone, it made me extremely happy. But yeah, I also didn't have like any new Cradle book or any new Arcane Ascension book that made me generally happy. So everything is sad now. Then getting to the end, the most beautiful book you've bought so far this year. No doubt, The Fear of Moncroix is actually my current lock screen too. I love this cover. It's just fucking beautiful. I also think that the artist is the author himself, and we have like different illustrations throughout the book, by the way, throughout all his books. I feel like it's such a cool touch. But yeah, definitely The Fear of Moncroix is just so beautiful, and it reflects the inside perfectly. And the last one, what books do you need to read by the end of the year? I do have to read so many of them, but I have 4 that I would really like to read before the end of the year, because I don't feel like I have any room for them, but I still need to do it. So the first one, again, I'm too lazy to grab it, it's literally down there, but I decided to give another chance to the Inheritance trilogy. I tried to read this trilogy 2 times, could not get into it because of the narration, but I'm very stubborn. I really want to read it, and I'm trying it again this year. Will it work? I don't know, but we'll see. Another one, The Trials of Ashmouth. I should read it this month. Hold me accountable if I don't. I need to read it this month. I just want to read it. Also, book 2 came out last month. I want to fucking read it. But I have to read this one physically, and it just takes me so much time compared to audiobooks. But I really, really want to read it this year. And then the other 3 that I have, I think I've mentioned them. Well, the second one I haven't mentioned it. But this first one, The Dragonbone Tear, I've been trying to read this for so long, but I just cannot find a narrator that I actually enjoy. I tried different accents. It just does not work for me, but at the same time it's just so big that I want a narration. I don't want to read it physically, because also this edition is gigantic. It's not floppy at all, it's just like a brick, so it's not going to work if I read it physically. So I may get it on Kindle. But I really want to read it. I want to get into Ted Williams. He's just a master of I almost said sci-fi, of fantasy. So yeah, I definitely need to read this. I should have read it last year, but I was in a big slump during the summer. Then I also want to read The Rebel by J.R. Trask. I read the first one, The Rave, last year or this year? I think last year. And I got this one for my birthday. I really want to continue. I feel like it's very different from book 1 from what I read from the synopsis. I feel like book 3 is coming out this year, so I'm just really excited to actually continue and finish this trilogy. So for that I need to read book 2. Also, I just really like these books. They are super floppy and they are just so colorful. I just really like them. And the last one, I should have already read this too. The Legacy of the Brightwash. Book 2 came out quite recently too, and I've been a mess of reading self-pub lately. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I just been stuck with a traditionally published series for a long time, so I need to get back into my roots and just read more self-pub again. Like, I started the year reading a lot of self-pub, and last month I think I read like 2, and that was it. I need to read this. I also got the hardback, which is just so unconventional for me. So I just need to read it now, like I'm committed now. So yeah, basically those were my answers to the tag. What is the best and the worst book you've read so far this year? Please just let me know down in the comments below. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.